Hello everyone, back again with poofy head of hair because I keep going to barber shops that are closed on the day that I get there, even though I go on different days. I don't know what this is. Some barbers, they like to be open on all of the days that military members would need them. And then there's some barbers that think that Monday is the day that they should be off because there's some sort of barber union code. And then there's others that think that Sunday they should be off because there's some sort of Christian working on the Sabbath code. So, like, I'm finding it hard to just get around the fact that most barbers are open while my market is open and I like to work instead of taking off to go get a haircut. So one of these days I'm going to get a haircut and I'm going to look thinner. And that is my segue into what this video is actually about. I feel like it is the thing that makes me look the fattest right now is my big poofy hair. I know that when I get a haircut, you can just go back on my YouTube channel and watch some videos from right after I got a haircut. I look thinner, and people will comment in the description, "Hey, did you lose weight?" And it's like, "No, I just got a haircut." And this video is a response to Naomi Chambers, youtube.com/Naomi Chambers. It's very simple. She's a long-time YouTuber, had many channels, and I've been subscribed to her for a long time. She just put up a video called WebMD Publishes Shocking Discovery About Why Obese People Can't Lose Weight. And the shocking discovery being that, on average, women do 1 hour a year of strenuous exercise, and men do 3.5 hours of strenuous exercise if they are obese people. And when I saw that, my immediate thought was that the married obese men must be really carrying a lot of the burden for all of the unmarried obese men, because I think the unmarried obese men are probably doing like half an hour of strenuous activity, and that's just that one day that you are late to work and you're rushing through your morning, that something like that. But the married men who are obese are probably doing a lot of things that the obese women would have been doing, like changing a spare tire onto a car when the car gets a flat. Changing that flat is something that, like, the obese woman would stay in the car and send the married guy who's obese out into the cold, into the freezing cold, where he's got to, toil and slave over the spare tire. I guess I'm just jaded about marriages, really. And when I saw that the men had been working more, and doing more strenuous exercise, I'm like, it's because that there's married people throwing off the average. I think if left to their own devices, there's not really that much of a difference to where men would be working out strenuously 3 times as much as women and getting the same result, even at the extremes of almost doing nothing. But Naomi went into a whole bunch of different things about weight loss and exercise and maintaining a good appearance and whatnot. And I don't feel like she's personally experienced in such matters. She does give some good advice, but I have some other odd things to say about weight loss in and of itself. Now, I have been losing weight since 2010, but recently, in the past year, lost a lot of weight, and it hasn't been so much of a yo-yo as it has been in the past. It's been more like just a steady decline in my weight. And I can tell you, number one reason why I started to lose weight in 2010 is because I moved from a place where you eat a lot of rice and gravy, red beans and rice, boudin. If you don't know what boudin is, it's Boudin, and it is loaded with carbs, and it is delicious. You know, I moved from a place where that was part of the diet. It was a staple of the culture, and I ate it a lot. And so I moved to a place where carbs aren't really as big a part of the diet. Where I am in Colorado, I think there's a lot more Korean food in Colorado Springs to eat. A lot of Korean eateries. There's a lot of beef. A lot of places think that they are the best steakhouse on the planet. But there's a lot of granola hippies out here. You know, before Focus on the Family and all of the Evangelica Mecca moved here to Colorado Springs, there was a hippie movement that largely has moved up to Boulder, Colorado, and made a little enclave there. But the food, it still reflects what they felt about food. So it's just a little bit healthier, you know. But that's number one thing that helped me out, was not a diet where you go on it for a set number of days, but a complete lifestyle change in what I eat. Because of the people around me, I even tried being a vegan, and I documented that on this channel, and I lasted like, what, 8 days before I caved. And I would say that I have completely gone the other way since starting my market, where I have an unintentional low-carb diet. I do still eat a lot of vegetables, but I eat a lot of chicken. Chicken this, chicken that. Chicken, chicken, chicken. And when I say low carb, I am excluding that one major source of carbs that I have in my diet, which many people who have lost weight and kept it off tell me was one thing that they removed from their diet, and that is high fructose corn syrup. I probably have 5 or 6 Mountain Dews a day, at least. At least. And you all know this about me. Yeah, hopelessly addicted. If I have less than 3, it's probably a very bad day, and people are getting laser beams shot out of my eyes at them. You know, don't get between me and my first dew in the morning. But yeah, this is something that you'd figure it's such a big part of the American weight problem that there should be like billboards about it. You know, there should be commercials on TV that say, if you want to lose weight and look the thin pretty that Cosmopolitan magazine puts out, stop drinking soda. You know, I wonder if Coke has threatened anyone who wants to put out a PSA like that. You know, because I don't see those PSAs at all. Like, you could eat everything else in the world, Twinkies, Oreos, everything else, but if you look at how much soda is consumed by the country, just soda, you know, that alone, if people just eliminated that from their diet, it would be, you know, it would be a reversal of that obesity epidemic. One thing could change it all. But I also have some other things to say about weight loss. And one of them actually popped up as a video suggestion on the side of Naomi's video, and that was the possibility of a thyroid problem in someone's life. I actually have one where I take pills for it. I think I got the pills right here. But basically, if you have a thyroid problem, you can exercise all you want and diet all you want, but you are still going to get fat. The aggregate will just tend towards fat. Fat, 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 fat. So, my advice to everyone would be, first, see a doctor. And see a doctor once a year for a regular checkup anyway. Not just for, like, if you're fat or if you're thin or anything. Just go to see a doctor and just get a general checkup. And then if you're fat and you don't want to see a doctor about it, because the doctor costs too much and you don't have insurance or whatnot, read about thyroid problems and figure out what TSH is. It's thyroid stimulating hormone. There are clinics in your area that will just draw your blood. The one that I like in Colorado Springs is Any Lab Test. That's their name, Any Lab Test. It's a company that will draw your blood, and for about $30, they will tell you just about anything you want to know about your blood. They will screen you through like 50 different tests, and one of which is TSH, because it's so common. Okay? So here's... I take 2 of these every day. My current prescription is 0.224, which is weird because you could get 0.225, and that caused a little problem at the Walgreens when I first got this prescription, because they didn't realize that you could add 2 112s instead of adding a 100 and a 125, so they thought that my doctor wrote the prescription wrong. Yeah, and that delayed me getting my medication for a day, and then my doctor chewed out the pharmacist, and then they apologized to me. Yeah, anyways, thyroid problems are a lot more common in certain areas of the world. Around the 3 Mile Island area, around all the refineries on the Gulf Coast, and around Chernobyl, especially the surrounding areas around Chernobyl. And I would probably expect to see a lot of people that were living around the area of the Fukushima disaster to have a lot of thyroid problems. and it's because it's so common that it is so cheap to treat. And when I say it's cheap to treat, like, you could test for it with a $30 test before paying more money to see a doctor to get a prescription. And in my town, after getting a test like that, you could go into an outpatient clinic doctor and pay about $100 for one visit where they would weigh you, give you a general checkup, look at your blood test, and then give you this prescription. And this is about $4 for a month, right? Very, very cheap to treat because the issue is so prevalent. So the thing is, the incidence of undiagnosed thyroid problems in our country especially is huge because people just don't want to admit that they have a problem. Or they think that the cost of health care is very prohibitive. And although comparatively to what it could cost if you didn't know what you were doing, what I said was very cheap. Like, I think for your first month, at worst, $134 by my pricing where I could tell you to go in my city. Right? That's very cheap compared to what people think it would be, or what it would be if your insurance company was paying the doctor that they send you to. You know, that's where prices go sky high. But although that's cheap, some people still can't even afford that. So we're just going to keep having this problem because I guess it's weird. Sometimes somebody gets to be so obese and so fat that, you know, the 1 hour of exercise that these women are getting in a year, it's part of that vicious cycle that you can't exercise because you're fat, because you've got all these other things stacked against you. And the strength of will that it takes to exercise is something that people just don't realize that they don't have. You can tell people that they have a willpower problem and they will deny it because it's just something that people can't accept. They can't accept that their problem has gotten so bad, and they can't accept that they are that powerless against their environment, and that they have to really concentrate on making a change. And I guess some other little things that I would say are shocking that people just don't realize is I think people mistake hunger for they mistake what they think is hunger, which is actually thirst. I think people are eating when they should be drinking water. It's a weird thing, but I hardly ever see an obese person drinking just water. You know, and when you look at like what the doctor says that you should drink like eight glasses of water a day, I fail to do that regularly, and I'm overweight. And I think that if we just took a poll of all the fat people, it's weird because, you know, you're retaining a lot of water if you're fat, but are you drinking just pure water? Ever? Like, for me, it's like 2-3 glasses a day. But, you know, if you were exercising, you'd have thirst that you didn't mistake for hunger. you'd know, hey, I've been sweating, I've been losing all this water, I have cotton mouth, you know, I need to drink some water. So I think that's another thing that people just, they'd be surprised how dehydrated they really are, and how much just drinking water can soothe those hunger pangs. And that's my reaction to Naomi's video. Go subscribe to her. She's been around for a while and deserves more of an audience, in my opinion.